Morning everyone. It's a miserable day. Thanks for joining us. I have Dirk and I have Dayna. You can see everyone there. And we're gonna get down onto the ground. I'm going to get down onto the ground and onto our cushion and get ourselves into a cross-legged position. And if you need two cushions, grab two cushions, or if you need to put your legs straight or in any other position, pop them into it. It's the morning time, so the usual stiff as a poker and all that kind of thing. It's not the printer, isn't it? Some beeping going on here and we don't know where it's coming from. Yeah, okay. So what we'll do is, we're in our cross-legged position. We're going to bring our four fingers to thumb and just pop our hands over our knees, and we're going to straighten up the back and nice open position on the chest. We'll take our head nice and straight like a string on it, and nice and aligned with the spine, and sit bones into the ground and shoulders back. Okay, so here we go. We're going to take a few breaths here. And so breathe in through the nose and out through the nose if you can, and try to make the breath as even as possible. So when you're breathing in, take the breath in and go, and then take it out. And if it staggers, that's okay. And take it out. Okay, so a few breaths like this. And try and empty the breath as much as possible out of the lungs. So bring in nice clean air and breathing out stale air. Okay, so hands into a prayer position, and we're going to take it up over our head, and we're going to breathe in and up, breathe in, up, and out. Breathe in, up, and out. And out. Out. Okay, we're going to take it in the opposite position. We're going to breathe up, in when we're going up, so, and out with the out of the hands, breathe in. And push down. Breathe in. And push down. Breathe. And push down. Breathe in, up, and down. And down. Okay, so onto all fours, and make sure that the arms and the shoulders are over the wrists, and we have our feet hip width apart. And what we're going to do here is we're going to do cat-cow, and again we're going to be going with the breath again. So it's out when you're into cat, and then breathe in when you're in cow. So when you're up in the air, you're breathing in, and then breathe out when you're coming down. So we'll start with breathing in, breathe out, and as much movement as you want here. And pop the sit bones up to the sky when you're taking your breath in, and then breathe out. Bring the sit bones right down and curve the back. And pull in the stomach muscles. Breathe in and up. And out. Breathe in. And out. And out. Okay, so we're going to bring the leg in with it. Okay, so we're going to lift our right leg and we're going to leave our hips nice and flat as we can. Leave the leg out. We're going to flatten the heel as if it's pressed against a wall, and we're going to take a breath here. Okay, and we're going to introduce it then into our cat-cow in a moment. So take a couple of breaths here. It's starting to activate the tummy muscles. We can feel our bum muscles starting to activate as well, and right down through the leg. The leg is fully activated. It's not just sitting there. It's fully activated. All the muscles, you're using everything to keep it up in the air. Okay, so we're taking a breath. Breathe here. Breathe. Breathe. Okay, so while we're in this position, we're just going to take that leg up again. We're not going to move or stack the back. We're not going to do anything. We're just going to literally move the leg and activate the bum muscles even further. And really, really feel those muscles activating in the leg, and nice and firm as if it's planted against a wall. So up that little bit more and then breathe again. Hips are nice and straight. Breathe. 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 And take it down. Okay, so left leg up. And again, left leg planted against a wall, nice and strong. Feel the muscles activating now. They're starting to activate in the tummy, in the bum, and then the whole leg is activated because it's like as if you're planted against a wall. And we're taking a breath here. Take a few breaths. Okay, so breathe. Breathe. Come out of this if it's uncomfortable. Don't stay in it if you're too uncomfortable in it. The idea is that you can feel maybe a bit of discomfort because you're having to keep the leg up there. So that can be tough, but no pain or anything like that in the back. Okay, so breathe. 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 And we're going to lift that leg just that bit more, and just to really challenge that, and again trying to keep the hips in exactly the same place and lifting the leg. So it's tough. And you can feel it on the tummy muscles, so feel them nice and activated at the moment. And take a breath. And breathe. And breathe. Okay, so take that down. Now we're just going to bring the leg, we're going to bring back up the right leg, and we're going to bring it into cat-cow again. Okay, so we're going to breathe out, and we're going to bring knee to nose. Breathe in. And breathe in up. And breathe out. And out. Breathe in up. And out. Last one, and out. And then the other leg, other side. Okay. So we're leg up, and then we're going to bring knee to nose and breathe out. Breathe out. Breathe in up. And breathe out. Breathe in up. And out. Breathe in. And out. Breathe in. Okay, so back down onto all fours. Okay, so we're going to take our feet and we're going to step up into downward facing dog. First downward facing dog of the morning, loads of discomfort, loads of stiffness, and we're aiming to get the hands nice and planted into the mat, and the head and neck nice and relaxed. The back as straight as you can get it, and then you work on the legs to see can you get the heels down to the floor. Okay, so we take a few breaths here and pedal out the legs, do whatever feels good, because in the morning you can be very, very stiff. Well, any time of day you can be stiff, but particularly in the morning, but it protects you from getting any kind of damage as well, any muscle strain or anything like that. So a few breaths here. And come in and out of these poses as you see fit. Don't be staying in them if you feel too much discomfort or if you're too tired, or just ease ourselves into this. And we're just going to breathe. Head and neck nice and relaxed. And we're just pedaling these legs nice and slow and taking some breaths with it. And breathe. And breathe. I think my top is actually, I don't know what's falling down. Breathe. Okay, so we're going to step the feet to the hands. And we're going to just halfway look up in front of us. And take a breath here. And breathe out and down. Okay, so we have our feet hip width apart. We're looking at our toes, and we're going to see if the toes are spread out, nice and spread out. And you feel the activation all the way right up to the top of the sit bones, and the sit bones are pointing up to the ceiling, and legs are feeling activated. We're pulling in those tummy muscles, and we're just taking a stretch here. But we're again making sure that our head and neck is nice and relaxed. But you can sometimes just really feel the blood going between the shoulders and the head and neck when you're trying to relax them. It can be hard sometimes to relax them in this position. Nice deep breaths. Breathe. Breathe. Okay, so we're going to roll up nice and slow, and we're going to take the hands up over the head. We're going nice and slow this morning, lads. It's good to go slow with it. Sometimes it can be tougher when you go slow, but you take a nice breath with it. And take a breath out and take the hands down to the side. Breathe out. And now we're in mountain pose. Okay. So in mountain pose now we're looking at our alignment again. So the heart space nice and open, shoulders back, hands down by the sides, bum not popped out, not tucked too far in. So we just we sort of tuck our tailbone down, and keep our pelvis as straight as possible. And again, we make sure that if we can, we spread our toes, and sometimes we can spread our fingers as well. We keep our head and neck is aligned with the floor, and you're supposed to be working in this position. You're supposed to be working the core, you're supposed to be working the legs, everything's supposed to be activated, and you're supposed to be concentrating on your whole alignment and open up your heart space. And take the hands down, and then take a few breaths here. So breathe. And we still have that beeping going on behind us. We don't know what it is at all. Breathe. And breathe. I wonder what it is, Dayna. Breathe. Nice deep breaths. Yeah, just chance switching that off altogether, Dayna. And what we're going to do now is we're going to take a breath, and we're going to take our hands up over our head. Now we're not going to jump straight down and into chaturanga. We're going to take our right leg back, and we're going to stay where we are with just taking our right leg back. So I'll just talk you through it. So we're going to breathe, take a breath in and up. We're going to bend the knees nice and slow. Take a breath up. And up overhead, we're going to fold forward from the hips, just the hips, just the hips, just the hips, and breathe out. Now we're going to halfway lift, look up in front, breathe in up. We're going to tuck it back down and breathe out. Okay, so we're going to put our hands to the mat, and we're just going to take our right leg back. Okay, so what you would be doing is you think about, so Dirk, you're standing, you put your hands to the mat by your feet, and then you just take the right leg back, okay? Yeah, so we're into a runner's lunge here, okay? So this is great for the hips, and stretching out the legs, okay? So we're into runner's lunge, we've just after taking that back, and then what we're going to do is we're going to look up in front of us and we're going to take a breath here. Our knee is nice and straight, not jutting out over our toes. Our back leg is nice and activated, and as up as high as we can get it. So nice and high, we're up on our toes and we have them nice and activated. Okay, so now we're going to just take our hands to our hips and we're going to just lift. Okay, so we're taking a breath here. Breathe, breathe, breathe. We're going to just take the hands up overhead and take a breath. Breathe, breathe, and breathe. Now we're going to take it down, we're going to take our left leg back and we're into plank. Okay, so now we're in plank and we're going to make sure our plank is nice and straight and nice and light. We're pulling in the tummy muscles, arms over and shoulders over the wrists, hands planted into the mat. What we're going to do is we're going to bend the elbows and bring it down, bring the nose to the mat and breathe out. And then breathe in and up into upward facing dog, and then breathe out into downward facing dog. Okay, so nice breaths here. Pedal out the legs and breathe. And breathe. Okay, so feet to hands. And then halfway lift, look up in front. And then fold down. And then we're going to take a nice breath straight up with our hands up over our head. So a nice controlled breath. Breathe in up. And take a breath out and take it down. Okay, so breathe in. We're going to bend the knees again. Breathe in up. And this time we're going to take the left leg back, okay? And we're going to fold from the hips forward. Breathe out. Halfway lift, look up. Bring our hands down to the mat and we're going to take our left leg back. Okay, so here we are and we're back into runner's lunge on the left side. Okay, so again we're looking at our alignment. We're looking at our knee is right over our ankle, our back leg, we're up on our toes, but the legs, all legs are activated. And what we're going to do is take our hands to our hips and we're going to just take a breath and bring it up. Okay, so take a breath here and we're going to breathe. These are tough now, lads. These really activate all the muscles in the legs and activate the bum muscles as well here. It helps to support your back, so your sit bones or bum muscles, whichever way you want to call it. And take a breath. Take the hands up overhead and breathe. 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 And take it down and back into our plank. Take the leg back into plank. Okay, so nice light plank. We're looking at our alignment again, looking at our shoulders over wrists. We're going to bend the elbows and we're going to take the nose to our mat. Bend the elbows. Breathe out and then breathe in and up into upward facing dog and take it down. Breathe out into downward facing dog. Okay, so you'll start to notice that now your legs are starting to free up a little bit, getting to get the heels to the floor, and we're still taking nice breaths here and we're not rushing it, we're still taking it nice and slow, and we're looking at making sure our back is nice and straight and our alignment is good. Okay, so breathe and breathe. Breathe. Okay, so feet to hands and then halfway lift. So we're looking up in front and then we're folding back down from the hips and taking a breath out. Okay, so again we're going to take one breath the whole way up with our hands over our head. Breathe in up and take it down. Okay, so here we go. Bend the knees. Breathe in and fold forward from the hips. Breathe out. Halfway lift. Look up in front. Breathe out and down. hands to the mat, straight back into plank. Okay, so we're straight into plank, we're looking at our alignment. Okay, so now we're going to bend the elbows, take nose to mat, breathe out. Breathe in and up. Take a breath here, take a breath out and take it down into downward facing dog. Okay, so now we're going to take our right foot into warrior one. Right foot between the hands, take a breath up. And breathe. And breathe. In warrior one, our hips are facing the front of the mat. We have our back leg is slightly, it's flat to the ground, so whatever way you can get it flat, so it's that you have full support. The knee is bent, but not over the toes. Okay, so we're hands up overhead, and we're breathing. Take a nice few breaths here. Breathe. And take it down. And back into our plank. And nice light plank. Take our nose to the mat. Breathe out. And breathe in. And take it back down into downward facing dog. Breathe out. Okay. Take a moment, and then we're going to look at bringing the left leg between the hands. Breathe. Okay, so left leg between the hands. Take a breath up. Nice controlled breath. Again, hips are aligned with the front of the mat, leg is bent, your feet are flat on the mat at the back, your leg, all leg activated, everything is activated here. So you're working in these poses, you're working hard, and then to help you get better and deeper into the pose, you're using the breath to help you. So we're breathing here, nice breaths. Breathe. Breathe. And we're taking our hands down and back into our plank again. And down into chaturanga. Breathe out. Breathe in and up. Look up at the ceiling. And take a breath out and down into downward facing dog. Breathe. Okay, so while we're in this downward facing dog, what we're going to do is we're going to take up our right foot. And again, we're going to plant our right foot as if it's planted against a wall. And so we have the muscles activated in the bum, and the back is nice and straight. And we go as deep as we can into that. And we breathe. And breathe. And then just a little bit more, take that leg up. You're still making those, make sure those hips are stacked, are not stacked, are nice and level. And we're breathing. Breathe. And take the right foot down. Yeah, that's the shaking now. The shaking is completely normal. You're shaking because, so you're taking all these breaths and then you have this air or, you know, clean oxygen going in and around, and it just makes you shake. It means you're doing it right. Somebody with maybe more flexibility probably wouldn't shake as much. I always shake on these ones because I'm not naturally flexible. Okay, so we'll take up the left leg, and again we're activating those legs. Nice breath here. The hips are nice and level, and we're breathing. And breathe. And just that little bit more, just raise that leg down a little bit more. And breathe. And breathe. I may just slightly tuck in this. Nobody wants to be looking at Mandy's belly. It's not a pleasure. Okay, so we're in this position, and we're going to take it back down, and we're back down into downward facing dog. Okay, we're going to take our feet to our hands. Step, walk, jump them forward. We're on a halfway lift, look up in front, fold back down, take a breath out. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take our breath straight up and hands up over the head and breathe out and take it down. Okay. Okay, so we're going to do one more round and then we're going to shut down. Because what we did, instead of doing extra rounds here, what we did was did our rounds really, really slowly, so it's tougher. You'll still gain all the benefits, but it's just that little bit tougher sometimes going slower. But yeah, it's still exactly the same benefit, even better sometimes, to be fair. Hold those poses as long as you can, breathe in and out of them as long as you can. Okay, so bend the knees, take a breath up. And look up overhead, fold from the hips. Halfway lift, look up in front of you. Take a breath in, take a breath back out, fold back down to the mat. Hands to the mat. We're going to take it right back again into our plank. Okay. So we're going to just stay in our plank for 1 second and we're going to again see, can we raise one of those legs? The right leg, bring it up. Just slightly up. It's just to give ourselves a little challenge. Take it back down. Left leg up. And take it back down. Okay, so we're going to bend the elbows, take the nose to the mat. Breathe out. Breathe in and up. And take a breath out and take it down into downward facing dog. Okay. We're going to take the right foot between the hands back into warrior one. Swing that body up if you can. So what I do, Dirk, when I'm doing that is sometimes you need to be able to get a little bit of momentum going on the body. So you're always kind of feeling this part of, when you're in downward facing dog, you're just feeling the flexibility. You could be stiff in the shoulders, but you're using the flexibility of the body to bring that right foot, the momentum, and bring that right foot forward. Exactly. And then we're taking it up, and we have the leg bent, nice and activated. We're level with the front of the mat. Our foot is flat behind us, and take it up overhead and take a breath. Breathe. Breathe. We're always looking at our alignment. Our alignment is really, really important. Breathe. Breathe. Okay, so take it back down, back into plank, taking a breath, and we're going to take our right leg up, just for a moment. Right leg up, take it back down, left leg up, and take it back down. Right, bend those elbows, nose to mat, breathe out. And then breathe in up, and then take a breath out, and into downward facing dog. Okay, so breathe. Left leg between the hands. Nice momentum here. Breathe in and up. Nice and controlled. Again, looking at our alignment. Our hips are level with the front of the mat. And our knee is bent, but it's not over our toes. The back leg is nice and activated. Okay, take a breath. Breathe. Take it back down. Back down and into plank. Okay, so we're on the last one now, lads. I'm going to just take up the right leg for a moment. Take one breath. Take it down. Take up the left leg. Breathe. Take it down. Bend those elbows. Breathe. Take a breath up. And take it down into downward facing dog. Okay. Now, we're very warm now. So nice breaths here. And really use this downward facing dog to your benefit here. Really feel the stretches. The lads are trying to straighten the back as much as they possibly can. So the head and neck is relaxed. The back is as straight as possible. You're going towards having your heels to the ground. So Dayna takes her heels to the ground. She's very flexible. You can see that she's just well able to do that. Okay, so sometimes when your muscles are very tight, it's very difficult to get the heels to the floor. We keep working on it because the the result is the same. When you're aiming for it, the result is the same. Okay, so we're going to take our feet to our hands. Halfway lift, look up in front. Breathe out and down. Okay, so one nice big breath. Up overhead, take a breath out and down. Okay. Okay, so we always like to do just maybe a balance pose or whatever, but today we're going to do our you know, a hip opening exercise. So the hip opening exercise we're going to do is where we plant our left foot into the mat and we take our right foot up. Okay, so you know this one, lads. This is this one. Okay, so so what we do, Dirk, is we plant the left foot into the mat. We bring up the right leg, and we see, can we turn that right leg down? Okay, so from the front view is we take the right leg up, nice and high if we can. Okay, and we bring the knee down as much as possible. Bring the hand behind our back. And we see about keeping our balance here. Take a few breaths. This opens the hips here. It's very easy to fall over in these poses. Breathe. Breathe. Okay, so come out of that and take up the left side. Plant the right leg into the mat, take up the left leg and turn that knee. Oopsie daisies. And he's going to fall. There we go. And take it down. And take a breath. Breathe. Again, chin parallel with the floor, head and neck nice and relaxed. You're not, sorry, you should always come down nice and controlled. So we shouldn't be falling out of our poses. We should come up and then take it nice and down. Okay, so that's controlled. We're going to shut down, but before we shut down, we're going to go back onto our mat. We're going to go back into a cross-legged position. We feel now in this cross-legged position at this stage, because we're after been moving, that we're nice and we're a bit more flexible. Probably maybe we can get our hips to the floor. Maybe we can even bring our right leg over our left leg. And again, we're going to take our index finger and our thumb and bring them to the top of the knee, and we're gonna breathe here. Breathe. We always make sure that we're sitting up nice and straight in this. This pose is hard. This pose is a hard pose to do. You know, trying to keep your back nice and straight, trying to keep your head and neck relaxed but fully aligned, chin aligned with the floor, shoulders back, heart space open, a lot of things to think about, and then you also have to breathe. Take a nice few breaths in it. Okay, so breathe. 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 And then definitely congratulate yourself for getting on the mat, because the hardest part of doing anything like this is actually getting on the mat in the first place, you know. What we should do now is, you know, do our shavasana. That's lie down. Obviously we're going to lie down for 15 minutes, but we're not going to stay on camera for that 15 minutes. So make sure when you lie down, if you need a pillow, take it. But if you can lie flat on the ground at all, lie flat. And you know, if you have any discomfort from lying down, bend the knees, take them up, because you could feel a little bit of jarring in the end of the back. And you just try to feel your heart rate slowing down, and then every area that you have worked, you're trying to help, you know, the oxygen goes in and you're trying to help relax. So because you could effectively go around kind of still shaking for, you know, half an hour, if, you know, afterwards, if you don't try and use this time. It's one of the most important times to relax after doing the yoga, okay? So you feel your face and neck melting into the mat, and you're relaxing. You're closing your eyes. You're letting your feet fall to the side. You're letting your hands fall to the side. And I'll talk the lads through it, and you guys just stay on the mat and relax. And thanks very much for joining us.